Okay, so I was just accepted into a game jam, my very first one mind you, and it's an in-person one, the Season of the Dev game jam. It's hosted by Screen Queensland and I'll be sent to some local bungalow park to make a game in 48 hours. Probably with complete strangers who are smarter than me. I've only been making games for like a couple months and all I have to show for it is... that thing.
You are short. You are tall.
I do not deserve to be a part of this, but this email says otherwise. I think I've got a crazy few days ahead of me, but I eat crazy for breakfast. The morning of the first day, I wake up, eat, get dressed, and I'm off on the first bus that takes me to the event while fighting with my camera's exposure settings. Oh, I also got off one stop too early. I walked the rest of the way to the park and went through the correct entrance. The reception staff directed me to the meeting hall where all the attendees were chatting. By the way, this horrible camera usage is a recurring theme in this video. I was not comfortable filming other people without their consent, and I was expecting this GoPro to record breathtaking cinematic videos of the entire event, but I was holding it like this. My camera settings were also messed up, so it's a smeary mess, and this footage is now over half a year old. I'm really bad at this, but stick with me please. Where were we? Oh yeah, presentation, icebreakers, free food, and here's our teammates. Here's Jess, programmer and Git master, Rohan, programmer, artist and musician, and Carlos, our artist. We formed this fantastic team of 4 mainly because we all liked the Godot engine, and there were surprisingly few people at the event who did. I'm pretty sure this was also everyone's first game jam, so we were all beginners in this together. Except I was harboring a dark secret. See, I told them I was a programmer, but I actually suck at programming. I've only ever made like one game, and... oh, they're playing it. We were given keys to our rooms.
There it is.
I got a bungalow to share with Rohan and Jess, but Carlos was unlucky and got put into a different bungalow from us.
Whoa.
When I got back, people were already assembling their workstations. They brought PCs, monitors, TVs, everything. Rohan had an impressively chunky computer too, and I just brought my laptop. The jam still hasn't started yet, by the way. That'll happen in a few moments once they announce the theme words.
Are we ready to announce the keywords?
Yes!
Yes.
Astonishing beach connection.
And we were off. We had 48 hours to make a game around those words. They really threw a curveball at us, huh? Like, what do we make with that? We came up with a lot of ideas. Messages in bottles, platformers, path making, walking simulators. There was a lot you could do with these theme words, but we stopped on the following idea. Imagine a side-scrolling game where you are a dog being walked on a beach and you are trying to pull your owner around to make them form connections with other dog walkers, like the movie 101 Dalmatians but on the beach. That's astonishing. We divvied up some work for everyone. Jess was going to program the player character, Carlos was going to make some 3D models, Rohan was going to make some music, and my job was to program the infinitely scrolling level, the beach. My idea was that it would be made up of chunks. Each chunk would try to spawn a new chunk next to itself if the blank space next to it is on the screen. This way the terrain would simply fill up the screen. It's an elegant solution and my implementation of it would not cause any issues in the future. Whatsoever. The kitchen was generously supplying snacks between meals, everyone was working hard, all was well.
Yummy.
So it is about 5 hours after...
Shh. Hush Matt from half a year ago, you don't know how to talk to a camera. Stop acting like you can. What he's trying to say is that we're all good.
So what have you been working on, Rohan?
So I've been working on Carlos's amazing doggy, and we got it.
Oh my, that's animated.
Yeah,
it's gorgeous.
He's got his little tail wagging, so that's great. We're gonna get the human next.
I haven't seen the human. Has Carlos made the human yet? What's that? It's Steve!
I'm Steve.
Nice.
Another mechanic of the game was random objects spawning on the beach. Some would be good objects that you have to collect and give to other beach walkers, and some would be bad objects that you would have to avoid. Since I made terrain spawning, I volunteered to also make the object spawning. When a chunk spawns, it would have a random chance to spawn a random number of objects. I added spawning for the enemies in a similar way. Enemies? Passerbys? I started a whole discussion on what to call them, and we agreed on walkers.
Do the picking of your character, so it doesn't line up. Just look right. You can make it happen.
What do you make? All the characters and the stuff goes the other way around?
The artists of the team were also discussing the camera angle and how the scene would be composed. At about 11:30 I called in for the night. I packed up my entire setup, filled up my water bottle, and went to our bungalow. Rohan and Jess actually drove home for the night, so I spent the night by myself in the 4-person bungalow.
Morning, everyone.
I woke up at around 7. Jess and Rohan were already in the office by the time I got there, and they were ready for the day. I just realized my phone has been buzzing for every single commit someone makes to the Git repository. That's neat. We had breakfast while chatting about the game, and after breakfast, Jess made a nice comprehensive to-do list for us and we hit the ground running that day. Then the ceiling started leaking, like water was dripping onto our desks, right next to the computers and power outlets. Jess has been working on adding movement for the player, the dog, and how they move the human. It works pretty well so far, and I helped by adding a visual for the lead. Oh god, what's this? I'll fix that soon. Control support comes first, because that's easy to add. Huh. I didn't make that code, so I don't know how to fix it. But the terrain not generating is still my problem.
Okay, 7 PM. We have about...
Hang on, he's about to start yapping again. Let me translate. We ain't doing too hot. Everyone else has pretty good looking games, and our game isn't even playable yet. I forgot my fork. After what felt like a million refactors, the terrain generation was still unreliable, and the player movement was buggy.
Get these walls in so that stops.
The game was due tomorrow afternoon and is far from playable. It's currently midnight. What would you do in this situation? Would you remake the terrain system from scratch, remake the player movement from scratch, or go to bed to be well rested for tomorrow? They're all important things for sure, but me, being the perfectly logical man I am, chose to spend 3 hours on an animated main menu screen. Sorry, is that correct? 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours. Bazinga. Like, we already had a functional main menu and an actual graphic designer who could make a better one if need be. My one doesn't even look that good. I thought, remember that time I made doodly looking boxes for Super Pong? Let's do it again, but without asking anyone if they think it's even a good idea. Then it'll be 3 AM, I'll be super tired, I'll only sleep for a few hours, then I'll be absolutely pooped in the morning. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's this one. So it's where it's diagonally inverted.
Do you guys want to figure out getting all of the colours of assets onto all the primitives?
Yep.
I'll push
Okay.
this up first.
Yeah.
And then did you want to do the...
So we started putting in... We're finally replacing placeholder assets with real assets. That makes me happy. Now I gotta log in. In the last handful of hours, we worked on missing features like making the random objects collectible and making the other dog walkers walk. In the final stretch, I didn't feel like I could do much to help. The game was still really buggy and it often got stuck, so I added a button to just restart the entire game. The infinite terrain system I made was also so unreliable that we ditched it entirely and just copy-pasted enough terrain to last a few minutes of gameplay. All that time I spent trying to make the terrain system functional went to waste.
This is so incredibly... Oh my god, what? It's alright. Okay. It's playable, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
There's no win condition. It's not possible to win yet, right?
That's the best bit. All new good indie games is so hard.
Are you just a little bit confused about what you're supposed to do?
In fact, you could even say that you are astonished. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that's time. I walked around and tried everyone else's games. Doesn't look like I took videos of all of them, but this one was really cool, and that one was super interesting. When the judges came around to try our game, they weren't too impressed. Fair. We sadly didn't win the event. In case you were curious, the nominees for the Best Game Award went to Shred the Shore, Seaside Snapshot, which I don't actually have footage of. And the People's Choice Award went to Island Fight. And that's the event. We may not have won, we may not have made a fun or even complete game, but in fairness it was everyone's first time doing a game jam. If I hadn't wasted so much time on making bugs and ugly UI, I could have contributed more meaningfully to the project. If you want to see a less self-centered view of the event, Jesse Clement recorded the whole thing better than I did. I even used a bit of his footage in this video. And finally, I want to thank all my teammates for working with me and putting up with me during the event, and I'm grateful for Screen Queensland for hosting this awesome Season of the Dev game jam. That's it, matt383.com.